Hello everyone, this is Eunice and welcome back to my last episode of the two-part series, Interest Rate. As what I've mentioned to you in my last video, there will be another 6 rate hikes by the US Federal Reserve in this year alone. Singapore being a trade-dependent nation, any changes in interest rates by the world's largest economy will affect us in some ways. This is especially so for home loans. With rising interest rates, housing installments will go up, making it more expensive for consumers. Like the example I provided in the previous video, there is a $400 increment in installment for a $750K loan for every 1% rate hike. Let me do a quick recap. For a property value of $1 million, with a 75% loan amount of $750K, with a 25 years tenure and loan interest rate at 1.5%, monthly installment will be at $3,000. However, if interest rate is adjusted to 2.5 and 3.5%, with all else being constant, the installments will be higher at close to $3,004 and $3,008 respectively. This is predominantly how a typical resale property installment will look like. Any experienced home buyers who has taken up a housing loan will know that upon completion of their property, their full installment will kickstart the following month. However, there is a certain type of property in Singapore that allows buyers to pay their housing loan installments progressively. These are properties that are still under construction. You only pay for installments in stages when the developer of your project requires payment for your house. That is to say, installment starts very small at the beginning and eventually reaching the full installment when it attains TOP a few years later. For such scenario, even as interest rate rises, the installment of your home loan is not affected as much because you are paying small amounts for the first few installments for the progressive schedule. Let me do an illustration for you based on a 1 mil property value and a 75% loan which is $750K. Using a resale property as the first example, based on a 1.5% interest and 25 years tenure, the interest portion of your installment is at around $950. If rates were to rise to 2.5%, interest payable will now be $1,005, which is an increment of $550 for a 1% rate hike. On the other hand, for a project that is still building, if progressive payment is at its first 5% stage, interest payable is only at $70 if interest rate is at 1.5%. For a 2.5% interest, there is only a marginal increment to $100 interest payable. Even if your house is now at its 30% progressive stage, where your loan has been disbursed at $300K and at 1.5 and 2.5% interest, the interest portion of your installment only increased from $380 to $620 for a 1% rate hike. What I'm trying to explain is that the interest upward trend is not going to affect all kinds of property affordability. If you are able to venture into the possibility of buying one that is still under construction, not only will your monthly installment be manageable during the building stages of your condo, you will also see the upside of cashing in onto your profits when it's time to sell after the 3 years seller's stamp duty. If you need more explanations on how a resale and under construction properties work, feel free to contact me or Alex via our mobile or social media. We look forward to hearing from you. That's all for today. See you again. Bye!